What up, everyone? My name is Juan G. I'm the head of African music programming here at Pandora, and we're in Hollywood for the next edition of Africa's Next. She is one of the fastest rising Ghanaian artists. She is also one of the most soulful voices that we're listening to in Afrobeats at the moment. We can't be more excited to have the one and only Gyakie with us.
Hi.
You know, the program today is kind of based off the idea called Africa's Next, which is really talking about not only the newest artists coming out of Africa, but also that Africa itself is next. We have a program on Pandora. It's a mode on today's Afrobeats that everybody can check out, and they're going to be able to check you out and all your music on there. So we're excited about that.
I'm glad. Thank you for having me here.
Sweet. I appreciate you being here. You just dropped a new EP called My Diary. In what ways does this EP represent where Afro-pop music, in your opinion, is heading?
In my opinion, Afro-pop, every African sound, Afro-fusion, Afrobeats is actually geared towards the top as it stands now. I'm very proud that I've been able to be a part of this journey. I've been able to be part of the artists that are gradually taking the sound to the rest of the world. And my EP, which is called My Diary, is a huge result of how good the African music is doing now in terms of the feedback from the listeners, the responses people are giving me after listening to the project. Everyone is in love with it.
You know, something unique about your sound when I first heard it was that you really kind of incorporate a lot of R&B, and it just feels a lot of soul in general, which I think is really kind of like, it really resonated with your audience in the beginning. Like, tell me about the space that Afro-pop and R&B share. Like, what are those things that you find in common between music being made in West Africa and maybe R&B from the US?
Right. At the moment, I feel the fusion now is getting bigger. There's a lot of sounds, genres, including R&B, like you mentioned, that is being fused with the African sound, where you can get Afro-fusion. And I put myself in that category as an artist, as an Afro-fusion artist, because I always like to spread my wings. I always like to jump on different genres so far as it's going to fall on the African sound, or even if it's not, I always like to tap into new sounds that haven't even tried before, and I'm excited that everyone is trying to tap into that.
Is that how you describe your sound, Afrofusion?
Yes, my sound is Afrofusion.
Tell me about that.
Afrofusion artist. So this is literally or basically any sound that is known in the world that you actually merge it with Afro. You merge it with the Afro-pop, Afrobeats, the African sound, blended with other genre of music.
You know, Afrobeats is this term that we kind of just lump everything in, but there's like, you know, Afro-pop, Afro R&B, Afro dancehall. Do you feel like you're kind of paving the way right now to sort of create a new space for a new genre within Ghanaian music?
Yeah, there's so many artists from Ghana that have already started that way. I came to be a part of them, and I think I've done equally good as well. So, but most of the artists from Ghana, even the older generation and the new ones, most of the seniors in the industry have also started tapping into Afrofusion as the old generation, and then the new artists as well. So, I mean, there's a lot of us from Ghana. Yes.
What was the beginning for Gyakie?
As an artist, I started in 2019 with my first song, Love is Pretty. And every other single I dropped till My Diary, all those songs dropped when I was still a student on campus in Ghana. So I dropped a couple of singles, then I dropped my first EP, which is called Seed EP. So after Seed, I dropped Need Me. That was 9 months ago. And since Need Me, I hadn't dropped any song. And so my fans were literally just on my back, like, Madam, when are you dropping new music? Why are you starving us? But it was all because of the work I was putting in for the project that was coming. Yes. And so, I mean, to sum it up roughly, Gyakie was literally combining music and school, and it was so tough for me. But I really wanted to find myself through to be able to make my parents proud, make the family proud, and then make myself proud as well.
It is well known in Ghana, but maybe not so much inside Ghana, that your father is someone who was also a very famous musician.
Yeah. My dad is Nane Champon. He's a high life legend from Ghana. So he has been killing the game from back in the day. I mean, he still is, but my dad is a legend, literally. So I grew up around music. I grew up listening to a lot of high life music. I grew up watching him perform for his shows and all that. And it's been good.
How has that affected you? How did that influence you?
In a positive way, because I can say he's the reason I fell in love with music. Because if you're waking up every day listening to, hearing music, waking up every day seeing people rehearsing in the house, I got fond of it. I became interested in entertainment and music. So I would say that also groomed me into becoming who I am today.
Your dad being part of Ghana's rich musical history, you know, being part of that high life scene in the 80s and 90s, is it? But then you also have like a zonto and like really all these genres that have influenced the music now. I feel like it's sometimes overlooked. Do you feel that pressure of having to represent Ghanaian music or Ghana? Or do you feel like, no, I'm really representing myself as an artist?
Yeah. When it comes to representing Ghana music or being a Ghanaian artist, I feel like it's more of an obligation. You have to. You cannot go somewhere and try and then deny where you're from, because where you're from is actually what has even shaped you to become whoever you are. So representing Ghana, representing the Ghanaian culture is no form of pressure but an obligation. It's something that I must do to send the name of the country to the rest of the world. But in terms of maybe where my dad has reached, because I've been getting that a lot, that where my dad has reached is putting some form of pressure on me to get to a certain point. That is where I would say there is no form of pressure to do what my dad has done, because I'm also starting something, and I believe it's a different journey on its own. And so wherever it's going to take me to, that's literally where I'm going to.
With the attention around Afrobeats focused predominantly on Nigerian artists, what are some of the challenges for you being from Ghana?
Back then, Ghana was not really in the light as much as compared to now. For now, I would say equally, Ghanaian artists are also getting a lot of attention. The Ghanaian sound is getting a lot of attention as compared to just as the other African countries are. And so, like I said, we are in a very fortunate, lucky era. There's a lot of positivity. There's a lot of pride being an Afrobeat artist or being an African artist, because everywhere you go to in this world, you are definitely going to hear Afrobeats now. And so it's proud moments for us all.
It's been amazing to have you with us today, Gyakie. We want to say thank you for coming by our studios here and for participating in Africa's Next.